Welcome to Beaded Doilies by Shell. In this video, I am going to be showing you how to create a hexagon pattern. This pattern was originally done with the light red, as you can see here, but I found while doing this that I preferred the darker red, so I will be showing you that. But what I want to discuss is I am redoing my pattern collections, and this pattern is Christmas Design 05, and in the new pattern collection your first page will be useful information, and then you'll find the color count, and we have round doilies in the pattern collection 1 along with hexagon doilies. And we have band doilies. I've also included size charts, and I've tried to include several different types of beads that you might use. We have delica, 2 sizes of seed beads, and then we have the faceted beads, which the patterns were originally created for. We have the crystal, and then 3 sizes of the plastic. For the hexagon, which we're going to be working on in this video, the 3 smallest patterns, you're just adding corners to them. Inside is the round version, which is what I usually use, but we're going to be working with the hexagon. And then for the larger patterns, you would remove a row off of the side to bring it down to the hexagon. You can cross it off, or you can use scissors and cut out the part that you're going to use. And then we have quite a few different sizes, right up to the largest round, which is for the 4mm size, and it's on 4 pages. It's that large. All right, let's see. Oh, and then I wanted to show you that when you go to print, you want to be sure that your printer is set to portrait, landscape, because we found while trying to print out this for the video that a lot of programs will open up the PDF file and then it'll print it in portrait instead of landscape, and you can see that it's quite small compared to the original size. Also, I have done these so that you can print them in black and white if that's the only printer you have available, which is what we have at home, the color we did at my daughter's college. And here you can also see it with the black outline for the larger ones. Now, with the hexagon, oh, yes, forgot. In the patterns, each one has a name. The number stands for the size it was originally created for, and the letter is the item. So an 8 would be 8mm, S would stand for small doily. 6 is 6mm, C is a coaster size, and 4 is 4mm, and O stands for ornament. And as you can see, we have it on each one with different letters and numbers. So for the numbers, you have 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. And for letters, we have small, coaster, ornament, pendant, earring, medium, and large. Now for the hexagon pattern, there's actually 4 ways you can create it. In my first video, I've done the 2 needle stitch. In this video, I'm going to do the 1 needle stitch, the way I would do it, which is starting on one side, working your way up and down, and then up and down as you go. So for this video, we will do the 1 needle stitch, So we're going to start here actually. Oh, I wanted to show you, keep forgetting, I got all this stuff laying around and I'm forgetting about it. I did the hexagon because I'm not real creative with the hexagon shape. I did it in some different color patterns. Here are the different colors listed, and here is how they turned out. So this design is created for Christmas, but you can be creative and make it with lots of different colors and use it for other things as well. And for the one we're going to create, these are the colors here. We have 18 ruby, which the lighter color is 17 Christmas red if you prefer it. Then we have 4 dark avocado and 23 sun gold. And for those of you who don't use the faceted beads, I have created here a teeny tiny doily with the seed beads. And these are the colors that I used for this piece. So if you would like to use seed beads, you see they work perfectly well. And you can also use larger seed beads. I have done that in some of my other pieces. And I'm not going to be using this piece. I'm just going to be creating a plain doily. But should you want to add an accessory, I have here actually a round one. Here's the crystal colors that I used in this piece. And all you do is, as you bead this circle here, you just add your accessory in between the 2 beads. Now for a small one like this, when you add that circle, you don't really need to add it between the 2 beads, you just add it with the 2 beads, because the hole of the accessory is usually so large it's just going to move around inside that area anyways. So you just need to add it with the 2 beads. But for the larger ones, you want to add it in between the 2 beads. Alright, now I believe I have covered everything, so we are ready to begin. And as I said, I'm going to be using the 1 needle stitch in this piece. And first I add a piece of tape at one end of my string so that the beads don't fall off as I begin. And you begin with this bead here, and we're going to add the yellow, and then we're going to go this direction. We're going to add 3 red, and then another yellow and a red. And now we go back to the first bead we added, and we bead going the same direction as we originally thread through it. And there we have our first set of beads. Now we're going to go this direction, and they're going to be all yellow, so we'll add 5 yellow. And we will now go back to the bead on the previous circle that our string is coming out of. We want to thread through it so that our string is coming out the same side. And there we have 2 circles. And we want to be at the top, so we're going to thread back through the first 3 beads. And that puts us at the top. And then you want to just, as you're doing this, check and make sure that your piece is laying the correct way so that you go the correct direction. So we're going to be going this direction. So we have a red, yellow, and then 3 red. And as you may notice, the corners are lighter, and that's because if you're just doing the round, you know that you won't be using those. But for the hexagon, we use all of the pattern for the smaller ones. Like I said, for the larger ones, you actually are taking off sections. Right, now we have this. Now we want to turn it and make sure that we match. Now our next circle is here, so we want to be coming out of this top yellow one. So we're here, we want to go through 1, 2 beads. Alright, now we're going to add all 5 of these. And then we come back to the bead our string is coming out of, and we go through it so that our string is coming out the same direction. And now we want to be at the bottom here because we're going this direction, so we're going to bead back through all 5 that we just added. Right, now we are going to thread down through the 2 side beads. Just tightening it up. Alright, so that puts us down here because we've added this and we've gone down through the 2 side beads. So we're going to add a red, a green, and a red. Now we want to go through the bottom bead of our previous circle. Along with the 2 side beads again. And then we will go down through the next 2 side beads. And that will prepare us for the next circle. And at this point, I'm going to slip off the tape, and I'm going to secure this string. So I'm going to do a figure 8 to begin with and end up back where I started. back where we started. And now I'm also going to do this last circle. And we end where we started again. And then carefully, making sure not to trim off our other string, we will trim off the excess. Put that aside. And now we are ready to add our next circle. Now we've gone through these two side beads, so we are down here. We need a yellow, red, and green. So we add a yellow, and a red, and a green. And then again, we go through the last bead of our previous circle and the two side beads. Then we will go down through this one bead. Actually, let's see. This way we will end over here. Actually, we might want to go this direction. Go through the bottom bead, and this way we will end over here, which is the side we want to be on to add our next row. And this is the last circle for this one. So that's this one here, and we're here and we're adding 1, 2, oh actually we're here, we're adding 1, 2, 3, 4 beads, and they're all yellow. This one got a see, we go through the side bead and the bottom bead of our previous row, doing it the opposite direction we've been doing it. Now we want to be up here because this row is slightly longer, so we wouldn't need to be at the top one. So we're going to go through 1, 2 beads to get to the top. Alright, now we're here, so we are going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 reds, a yellow, and a red. Then we will go through the bead that our string is coming out of in the same direction. And then we want to bead through all of these again, and then we'll go through the 2 side beads. Now our 2 sides, 1, 2, my string is wrapped, so I gotta figure out where it is. There we go. And we're ready for our next circle. So we've added this one here. We've gone through our 2 side beads, so we're going to add a green, a red, and a yellow. Now we will go through the bottom bead of our previous circle and the 2 side beads again. And then we'll go through the next 2 side beads. Now this one is all green. Go to the top bead of our previous circle, 2 side beads, and the next 2 side beads. Alright, so we are now ready to add this 3. So we have red, yellow, red. Now we've come to the last circle again, so we are going to again go through the top bead of the previous circle, and then we're here, so we're going to be adding a yellow and 3 reds. Then we will go through the side bead and the bead, top bead of our previous circle. Now this time, our next row is actually shorter than our previous row, so we are going to go down through the third 1, 2, 3, third side bead, so that we're headed in the direction we want to go. And we'll count 1, 2, 3. So we're coming out of this one, and we want to go this direction, and they are all yellow, so we're going to add 4 yellow. Then we go through our 2 side beads. We want the one on the opposite side of where our string is coming out, and the one our string is coming out of. And then we will go down through the next 2 side beads. And that makes us here, so we're adding red, yellow, red. And go to the bottom bead of the previous circle and the 2 side beads. And then the next 2 side beads. Right. That brings us down here, so we have yellow, red, yellow. Now this one is actually shorter than our previous row, so we're actually already at the last circle, even though we still have several side beads left. So I'm going to go back, and we're going to go through the bottom bead of our previous circle, and then we're going to add our last set of beads from the opposite direction this way. So we're going to add 3 yellows, and we want to go through our 2 side beads, so we have these 2 here. You want to be sure you're going the correct ones, because this is slightly different from what we've done so far. And then we will go through the bead here, and again, as the next row is shorter, we will go down through the third, 1, 2, 3, third side bead, and we are ready for the last row. So we are coming to here through the 1, 2, 3, third side bead. So we have yellow and 3 reds. And then, like I said before, you want the bead opposite where your string is coming out of. Go through it, and the bead your string is coming out of. There, and then you go down through the next 2 side beads. Right, so we're adding all yellow, so we have 3 yellow we're going to add. And then, as this is our very last circle, we will do it the same way we've done all of our previous ones. Just go through the 2 side beads, then add your last 3 beads, which are all red. And then you will go through the bottom bead of your previous circle. And there is your piece. Now we're going to secure the string the same way we did on the other side. And we're going to do a figure 8 through these 2 circles. Now, if I am working with a bead, okay, we did our figure 8, we're now adding the last circle on too. If I'm working with a bead type that has holes large enough to tie a knot, which these plastic beads do, I prefer the 2 needle. However, like with my crystal, the holes are quite small and you cannot hide the knot inside the bead. So that is when I like to use the 1 needle. You may prefer to use the 1 needle for all of your pieces, and that's perfectly fine. But that is what I use. is the 2 needle primarily, and then the 1 needle if I know that the string cannot be hidden inside the bead. Okay, here we clip off our excess, and we have our first hexagon doily. And I hope to see you in the next video. I will be doing videos for 2 needle, and then there's a technique where you start in the center and work your way out, and I'm going to be doing videos for those also, so I hope you'll check them out.